I hadn't slept much. I've been teaching in the morning. So I said, you know what, let me just take a quick nap. And then we'll go. And so I wake up from the neighbor screaming in the hallway to the apartment. So I go out and I see her and she's crying and she said, your baby, your baby. And so I ran out and it was close to the gym. It was on the street outside, you know, just at the pedestrian crossing, literally half a block away. So I see these police cars and an ambulance. Is, you know, the whole street is closed off, and I run down, and I write about this in my book that I wrote called "Life Is a Moment," which spells out Liam, right? About it's, you know, when you watch a movie, a war movie, and everything is like silent. It's almost like once a bomb's gone off, right? It's that silence. The only thing I remember is running, and it was hot, and I was remember because I was barefoot. You know, I left everything and I just ran, and the heat from the pavement, the asphalt, and I get down there, and the first thing I see is Liam's stroller just in two pieces. His little green frog that he slept with every night on the floor. And that's why the logo for the non-profit is a green frog. And that animalistic feeling of, you know, almost like a predator, like a lion that's confused, scared, hurt, and I was just looking for someone to lash out on. You know, I remember police officers tried to stop me from getting in, and you know, pushing them aside, and it's my son. And then I see my wife, you know, crying, and it told us, jump into a police car. We're gonna follow the ambulance. He's got a pulse. His heart is beating. A police officer had done CPR on him, and got his heart to start again. And you know, we followed the ambulance to the hospital, and yeah, you know, at first they said, you know, we're waiting, we stand for hours, you know, and I left everything. I left our dogs, you know, I left the door open, and so I had to call DMAX, and I said, you got to take care of our dogs, you know, just close the door. And he, you know, called everyone. So I don't know how long until people started showing up at the hospital. I don't know how media found out, you know. I was just focused on this, and it became world news, you know. It was everywhere from CNN to you know, it was on the news in Japan, Czech Republic, and everywhere. So, you know, we were in this bubble of just trying to see what's going to happen with our son, and then all of a sudden they told us that they were gonna take they were gonna they were gonna his ribs were broken, one of his lungs was punctured. And he, as a fighter, I'm like, okay, that's bad, but he's gonna survive, you know, he's gonna be okay. And then they were gonna take him to do a check on his brain. And then all of a sudden they moved him, and don't tell us anything. They don't can you hear me, by the way? The
Yeah,
reception is a little
yeah.
bad.
No, I could hear you
uh,
perfectly.
and so they they moved into a different floor, and I said, you know, what's going on, what's happening here? And they said, oh, they are gonna do a CAT scan on him. There's not very much movement, the reflexes they're looking for. And that's when they uh said they originally were going to drill open a hole because they saw that there was blood on the brain. And then they decided not to. And again, they weren't the best communicators, but I understand, right? They were trying to do what they could, and all of a sudden, um, they uh, they called the doctor who took us into a room, me and my wife, and I said, "What's going on?" You said you were gonna operate on him, and he said, "Looking at the CAT scan, we don't think we don't think he's alive." Uh, and you know, the the what happens, and again, learning, right? In order to declare someone brain dead, two doctors have to do the tests. Then you have to wait for 12 hours. And then two doctors again have to do the test again in order to declare someone brain dead. And to have to go through these tests and then wait 12 hours, right? And the last thing that leaves a human is hope. And at one point his finger was moving. So you think like in a movie, right? That's the first sign, and it's gonna wake up, and everything is gonna be fine. And then you learn that that move is not from the brain; it's from the nervous system. So you know, it's those things that makes you, God, like it's pain I would never wish upon on my worst enemy. It really isn't. And so they went through this test. He didn't make it.